If you're not losing weight fast on GLP-1, this might be why. I had a doctor's appointment this week and she explained something to me that completely changed how I look at my progress. If you've been feeling stuck, what I have to share with you is really going to help you. Welcome to Slow and Steady with Andy. I'm Andy. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about what my doctor told me this week, and also I'm going to share with you a weekly update on week 6 of 10 milligram Mounjaro, as well as take my week 7 injection. So I know I've been talking a lot about slow progress lately. I mean, keeping it real, my channel is called Slow and Steady with Andy. So I pretty much knew after 4 months of being on Manjaro that this was going to be a slow and steady journey for me. And I know a lot of my videos have been talking about my frustration with the scale not moving much. And really, just every week, I am trying to figure out why my body is not reacting to this medication like so many of the other videos that I see on social media where they're talking about how they've lost 60 pounds in 6 months, or within a year or less than a year they've already lost 100 pounds and are in maintenance mode. And that has not been my experience, not even close. Every time I see my regular internal medicine doctor or I see my other doctor who has a master's in nutrition, I'm always really just asking or venting, honestly, about my frustration. I shared with her that this has really been something I've been dealing with all my life. And I know it's really easy for people to assume that if somebody has weight issues or somebody is not losing weight, that they must be eating too much. That's always everybody's first assumption. And when I started Manjaro, obviously there's always things that we can improve on. There are still things that I am working to improve on. But those assumptions that people make really don't apply to me. Even before starting the medication, I just really for the past several years since my time in the keto cult, which I will give credit to keto for helping me do one thing, and that was to not depend on like fast food and things like that. And in that time that I was on keto, I just really came to dislike fast food. And even though I no longer do keto, I will not do keto, I will not do any extreme social media trend diet. So please don't ask me to. So, although I'm not doing any of those things, I really, for the past several years, have just had a distaste for fast food. And when I say fast food, I'm talking about like the drive-through McDonald's. And my husband and I, we really don't go out to eat too often. And if we do go out to eat, it really isn't to somewhere like Applebee's where I'm getting like chicken tenders or something. One of our favorite takeout, carry out foods to get is Middle Eastern food. So we love chicken shawarmas and hummus and the garlic sauce that comes with it. Just really good, pretty healthy food. Or one of my favorite restaurants to go to is BJ's Brew House, and they have two of my favorite salads. One is a strawberry blue cheese salad, and the other one is an Asian grilled chicken salad. Both of them are very healthy for the size of the salad. They are very low in calories. I think they are both under 500 calories for the whole salad. So to me, that is what I crave anymore. I crave pretty healthy food. Yes, sometimes we get pizza, or sometimes, especially in church, man, what is it about church people? They love to eat. They love their potluck type of events. But anyways, sometimes it's just in a situation where there isn't something I specifically would want to eat. But even then, I still really try to control what I choose and limit what I'm eating. So, with that being said, I am venting to my doctor, and I am so thankful for her because I know I've experienced it in my past, and I'm sure a lot of you can relate that you have been to doctors that you walk in and they don't want to talk to you. They just want to give you a prescription, say a couple words, and they're done. They want 15 minutes at max, and they're on to their next patient. And my doctors at the place I go to, they're just not like that. So she's letting me vent to her, and I'm explaining to her, and she really does know my history, and she understands, and thankfully she believes that what I'm telling her is true, that I'm not out there eating junky food. I'm not a snacker. I'm not somebody who, I don't want to say it on YouTube because I've heard that you can get, I don't know, your video demonetized, things like that. Not that I'm monetized yet, but anyways, I digress. I don't want to say the word that rhymes with cringe when you eat too much all at once. I'm not that person. I never have been. So it's frustrating to me that I started this medication, that I'm hearing so many people are losing all this weight. And here I am almost at a year of being on it. I started in June of 2025, and I have lost 32 pounds was the most I've lost. And even since that 32-pound weight loss, I had started to go up in weight. And so, in talking to my doctor, she said, okay, I need to just stop you because number one, we just took your A1C today and it is 5.4. This medicine has done exactly what it was supposed to do. My A1C used to be 7.9 was its highest. And now for the past three visits, it's been at 5.4, which is amazing. She also said that she is proud of my progress, that she can tell so many changes in me because I had a lot of problems with just balance because of my Meniere's disease. And I don't want to get into it, but I had a concussion in 2020 that really set my health back for a long time, and I had to walk with a cane because I was always just off balance and very, very susceptible to tripping and falling and didn't want concussion number two. So, she was telling me she's really proud of my progress. She can see that I am so much stronger and healthier. So many of my vitals that were not very good have improved very much. And she said, I want to explain something to you about the weight loss part of this. And this is the really important part that I hope you stick around to watch, because she explained to me that most people, when they start Mounjaro or Zepbound or Wegovy or Ozempic or whatever for weight loss, that they are starting from a place where they do eat really bad. They eat a lot. They are eating way too much every day. They are at a really high daily calorie count. And so when they start the medication and that appetite suppression kicks in, they are just instantly at this really big calorie deficit. And their body is like, whoa, what is going on? And the body starts responding and it starts burning that fat and getting rid of that fat very quickly and consistently. And then there's people who go into starting a GLP-1 medication that really don't have all that much to change about what they're eating. They just maybe have metabolic issues, insulin resistance, PCOS, type 2 diabetes. I was diagnosed in May of 2025. I went into this not with a real food issue. So, yes, I have the appetite suppression, but I really wasn't overeating in the first place. And even though I am at a calorie deficit, because truthfully, a lot of days I struggle to even hit the 1600 to 1800 calorie mark that my nutritionist has me at right now. So, in her explaining that to me, I already had balanced eating habits. So my body didn't go through a dramatic change when I started the medication. It didn't have that big shock that causes fast weight loss. And I watch a lot of informational type of content about people who are on a GLP-1, or as somebody who is 50, almost 51, perimenopause, going into menopause, on GLP-1. And I've probably heard this explanation, but for whatever reason, hearing it from my doctor just face to face, it it just really it just really really hit home. And and a lot of times I am very very hard on myself, and it's easy to watch. Sorry you guys, I'm like, it makes me emotional because you know sometimes I get kind of troll comments, or people just assuming that I must be overeating or whatever, it's not working, or and those don't hurt me, they really don't. But it does but it still triggers me because but I mean, how could reading comments like that not trigger you in some way? Because I I see that and I'm like, I wish they knew me. I really wish they knew me and that they could see that they could be watching what I do 24/7, just because I know that I have been doing all the things. I have really been trying really hard. So when you don't see that scale, sometimes you do feel like, what is this all for? And I want you right up front to know that I am not even close to giving up, because what I do know and acknowledge fully is that there are so many really good things that have happened since starting this medication. Number one, my A1C. But I told my doctor, I'm like, the weight thing's frustrating because physically I feel so good. I feel strong again. I couldn't even pick up a gallon of milk with one hand before this journey. I was losing so much muscle mass because of my age and just having a hard time with exercising, and and I feel so strong, and I can tell in a lot of my clothes that has my body shape has changed. It's just that dang scale doesn't want to seem to catch up. So after this pretty lengthy conversation with my doctor, we decided that I'm going to go up to the next dose. I'm not exactly sure when I'm going to do it. I still have some of the 10 milligram left, and I'm thinking about doing a couple more weeks of the 10 milligram just because, and this might seem weird or just be so off topic, but I like to be ahead of my prescription. Right now, the way my prescription is running is I'm not eligible to refill it until I have already taken the last dose out of that box. So it's like that next week leading up to injection day, I'm like nervous about what if the shipment doesn't come in. Yeah, so I anyways, also another reason why I think I'm just going to stay on it for a few more weeks is because, as you can see here, this is my weigh-in from this morning. I'm sharing with you the screen recording from my Smart Scales app, and I did have a weight loss from last week. Thank you, Lord. I'm like just so happy to finally see something happening. So I'm going to equate this week's loss to starting to really focus on the HIIT workouts that I've shared with you guys. And in talking to my doctor, she said, with what you're eating, it really doesn't make sense for you to go down any calories. That really isn't the goal that I want you to have, because if I go down to like 1400 calories, it's going to be very difficult to have a balanced diabetic plate type of meal plan. And my meals have vegetables, carbs, and protein. I'm not interested in doing super low carb or excessive protein, because that's out there too on social media, like extreme protein. So she said she would rather me just focus on making sure that I'm getting more activity. And she says that especially with HIIT workouts, that's the type of workout that you will still be burning calories even when you've stopped moving, stopped doing the actual activity. So I'm going to really try to focus on upping my exercise routine and see if we can't just get this weight down. I really would love to be at least 10 more pounds down by my 51st birthday, which my birthday is May 4th. May the 4th be with you. For those of you that are Star Wars fans, if you know, you know. And so that is my short-term goal, is try to get 10 pounds. It seems like a lot, but even if I don't make it to 10 pounds, which, come on, you guys, if you've been watching, you know I probably won't make it to 10 pounds. It's still just a smaller goal in my mind than me thinking about, wow, I can't wait until I go from 232 pounds to 130 pounds. My doctor was like, don't even think about that 130. Do not think about that. And I'm going to listen to my doctor. If she is not obsessing about my weight, if a doctor is not obsessing about my weight, then why am I going to obsess about it, as long as I know there's all these other things falling into place? All right, so I'm going to take my injection. I'm going to take it in my thigh this week. Last week I did my arm. And if this is your first time watching, I don't even inject in my belly anymore. I used to do it in the beginning, and I quickly realized that for me, I just got no appetite suppression, no food noise relief, just nothingness when I inject in my belly. I get much better results when I alternate between injecting in my thighs and injecting in my arms. So this week is thigh, and here we go. Okay, here we go. Trying to relax myself, but you guys, this always hurts. So 3, 2, 1, go. Oh my gosh. Whew. So no blood. It really never gets much easier. So that is week 7 on 10 milligram. Of course, y'all will be the first to know when I start the 12.5 milligram. If you're finding this helpful or you can relate to this journey, please make sure you subscribe. It's free and it really helps support what I'm building here. And I just want to end with this. If your progress seems slow, it doesn't mean that this isn't working. It doesn't mean that you're doing something wrong. Sometimes it just means your starting point was different. And slow and steady really does still win this. See you next week. Bye.
Been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I've changed for the better this time. I thought I would never be fine. I strive just to say I'm alright, and for the first time in a long time I'm alright. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago.